What is the message that you try to deliver every day?
It all depends, but the key is to live in gratitude, chase the thing you love. Could be your dreams or just the thing you love, and then be in service. You know, you talked about being serviceable, but this is being in service to other people, right?
Sure.
And I think if we can follow those three things, then it's a pretty good life. You know, we don't have to struggle as much if we can focus on three things, which is focus on your health, being grateful for it, pursue the thing you love, and then give back some. Give back to your friends, your family, your community, and as your reach and influence grows, give back to the world.
It sounds so simple.
Very simple.
But it is not easy to accomplish.
Not easy.
No. So what have you overcome, Lewis, for those who might not know?
I mean, how deep are we going here?
Let's go deep. It's fine. We talk about a lot of deep stuff.
I mean, when I was 5, I was raped by a man that I didn't know. And for 25 years, I used sports as my outlet to get the aggression out. It was my safe environment to express emotion. Because growing up in the Midwest, there wasn't like a safe environment with your peers or your teammates to talk about the challenges that you had. And I think my parents at the time didn't have the emotional capacity to really know how to even talk about that with their kids. And they didn't know even it happened because I was ashamed and guilty of it. So at 5, that happened. And then my brother went to prison when I was 8. So for 4.5 years when he was in jail, you know, being a kid in the suburbs, there wasn't a lot of other kids whose parents would let them hang out with me because my brother was in jail at the time. So again, that gave more fuel to the anger to want to use sports as my outlet to express myself because you couldn't talk about it. You couldn't say how you're feeling. This is just how sports was, and I think still is, the environment, at least in the Midwest where I grew up. You weren't allowed to express these things as a guy, as a male, straight jock, right? It wasn't acceptable. And that fueled a lot of my passion to prove people wrong early on, to achieve, to show that I was successful or powerful or good or whatever it may be. And that was where the drive came from, wanting to be a great athlete. You know, I wanted to be a professional athlete. I wanted to be an All-American. And I achieved all those things. The challenge is when the identity is stripped. As you know, a lot of athletes they go broke after a couple of years of being retired, and the identity is stripped from us.
So difficult.
It's the most challenging thing to overcome. You may not think so because these are all-star athletes who had it all. You know, they're talented, they're successful, they made money. But when an identity is stripped from anyone, I don't care if they've had it all or not, when we lose our identity and we have nothing else to fall back on, no other skills, and we're celebrated and acknowledged for our identity, it's really hard to say, well, who am I? What's the point of being here?
There may be a lot of folks out there who are veterans coming home who have similar aspects.
Their identity is stripped. When you lose a job, your identity is stripped. When you get a divorce, your identity is stripped. You were once this power couple or this married couple that always went to the same places together, and now your friends are divided, you know.
So then Lewis Howes here on the Rich Eisen Show, that's when you reach for the 3 simple things? I mean,
I think you got to figure out your own reason why you're here. You know, I think you got to figure out, well, what's my purpose for being here? You know, we may not, and again, I'm kind of going off here on this, but we may not know why we're here, right?
And we talk about life issues here on the show.
We may not know why we're here. I think we're always discovering, look, what is the purpose of this? Why am I here? What's the reason for my life? What's the meaning? Am I supposed to be on this path? Am I supposed to be in this relationship? Am I supposed to be playing this position or whatever is happening? And I think what I have found is that living in gratitude helps end suffering, helps end the pain that we feel inside. Because again, if we see perspective of, you walk down the street, you see homeless people out there, man, I've got a pretty good life. When we see perspective in our experience, then we can start taking ownership for what we do have and appreciation, as opposed to, I wish, I don't know, the tea was hotter today or something. You know, the little things that we complain about become irrelevant. So appreciation and gratitude is a must for me because it keeps me very grounded. It keeps me grounded of looking how good I do have it. Even if I feel like, well, I lost my sport and I lost my dream and I lost all my money and this happened to me when I was a kid and, you know, whatever, I've gone through this challenging breakup, but look at all the good we do have. And I think when we focus on the good, more good comes to us.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.